everyone. This is Lethal Sales, and tonight we have a topic that should be a lot of fun, I hope. Peter says we should not only tell everybody our resolutions, but also make a prediction for the coming year. So, Peter, why don't you get started?
Well, thanks, Rhonda. New Year's has always been a special time as everyone is going into a transitional mode where they're moving from one year to another. They tend to make resolutions all the time, and it's how do they plan on keeping them? Most people have a hard time with that. They don't have the willpower. So what I always say is set a goal for yourself and hold yourself accountable by actually doing the work. And it's very, very difficult. Like for me, my resolution is to actually go out and be is how would you say in front of everybody I can in this business. That's what I'm trying to do. That's my resolution. How do I do it? I got to put together a plan. I have to just like going to the gym. I'm going to put together. I'm going to do so many posts on LinkedIn. I'm going to do so many posts on other platforms. I'm going to listen to a Clubhouse call. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. That's the only way I'm going to have the exposure that I'm looking for 2024. So that's my resolution, to gain exposure and gain people's knowledge of what I do in this industry. My prediction is the part two of this whole thing. My prediction is that the madness from EV will subside. So people will start slowly pulling back, saying that the EV is not going to be adopted by 100%. No one's going to say that anymore, and they're going to come back to reality, and they're going to come back in a realistic term of somewhere around 30% adoption across the marketplace. And they're not going to put in the mandates. The mandates will fail. That's my prediction. So to that, I will push it off to my partner in crime here, Larry Feldman, and see what he has for a resolution and a prediction. Larry, take it away.
Actually, I'll tell you what. Hold on one second. I'm trying to get April Simmons in. So I'll tell you what. I always get to him last, and then I torture him. How about if we jump to my buddy Mike Larkin while I try to get our girl April Simmons in here?
And Wendy's trying to get in as well. So I'm sending.
I'll shoot a link to both of them right now.
Bring on the ladies. Bring on the ladies.
Mike, you're stud, man. Bring it.
Yeah. What my resolution is in the next 90 days, I hope to onboard. I don't hope. I know I'm going to onboard a small, medium, and large dealerships or auto companies. And when I say that, we've taken the AI and we're taking the 4 different platforms of strategy and we're combining them. So my goal, instead of talking all these technical terms and confusing everybody, is the industry average on conversion on traffic has been consistent. It's been 3 to 4%. We plan on bringing it to 5 to 6%, and 6% is our goal for everybody. We're going to silo this traffic to the one rooftop that we're working with. Mm-hmm. So that's our resolution. That's the first 90 days. For the rest of the year, it's bounced on continuing to promote the 6% instead of the 3%. And that's easy enough. Do you want this or this? And I'm going to pass it on back because I see the ladies are in the room to my friend Larry.
There's Wendy and April and Jennifer.
Right.
Hello, Rhonda.
Ladies, we're looking for a resolution and a prediction. Wendy, April, Jen, whoever wants to speak up first, we would love to hear from you.
My prediction for 2024, and it's more of a hope, is that dealerships will settle into the new norm. The expectation of a high volume of walk-in customers is not going to exist without the backup work from qualified salespeople doing mining and business development centers doing their due diligence to really promote the actual product that they have realistically. And again, as you touched on, the EV, it's just, it's not for everyone. It's not going to be 100%. It's not going to be 50%. They have to understand that. The normal, the average generation, they don't buy into it. So to backtrack a little bit, my prediction is I just hope the dealerships can continue to progress, but they have to learn the new norm. They have to really go with what they have and look at the people they have and assess the quality of the talent or lack of. And that's where we come in to provide them with quality people that can really pump them up and push them forward.
Well said. Wendy or April, what do you think? Resolution, prediction?
Don't make me laugh, it hurts.
Wendy, go ahead.
April, you go first in the alphabet. You go ahead. Go ahead. April.
April's name is so easy to remember because that's my wife's name.
Oh,
Wendy, what she'll unmute as soon as she can. Why don't you jump in, Wendy? We always love to hear.
Okay, well,
let's say 1 minute.
so honestly, off the top of my head, Jennifer, I really like what you said, and I would love to know what you do because it sounds intriguing. And your
Jennifer, if you'll allow me, is in the process of finding a job. She works for an unmitigated jerk. Oh, wait a minute. She works for me. Never mind. Roll right through. Jennifer is my assistant and helps me with my voluminous emails, and she is an ace. Man, was I lucky.
Wonderful.
You want to hear something great? You'll love this one. A good buddy of ours, Don Graff, said, you got to get her a job. So I called this imbecile, no name given, who ran a Volkswagen dealership, and I couldn't get him to take my call. And I said, the hell with it. I'm hiring. Go ahead, Wen.
Actually,
I spent
Don,
23 years in the car business, and I love it. And it's my third career. I love it the most out of all three. I love the change. I love the intrigue. I love the excitement. I love the people. I've worked for the good, the bad, and the ugly. I remember all of them. And even the tough ones taught me things, the ones that I really didn't care for. But I've brought that to the table, and Larry was nice enough to recognize I could do something, and here I am.
that's wonderful. And as a matter of fact, Don Graff told me about you in a conversation that you had started working for Larry and what a wonderful job you were doing. So even what you had mentioned about, I don't know, how do I say this how do I explain? April just I totally forgot about the call. I'm sorry, I'm gathering my thoughts. So what I've experienced in 2023 is that there's a serious lack of qualified people that are going the distance to really provide great customer service experiences. Or in my case, I for the last 3 years, a lot of things that I do is I launch teams of BDC agents that I do for dealer hire, that I recruit and train their teams. What's happening is there's lots of toxic BDC environments out there.
Oh
So
my God.
we're turning out good agents that are going to dealers and they're being poisoned by toxic environments because everybody in the dealership is dumping on the BDM who then dumps on the agents. And it results in a crappy experience for the customers. So it's my mission to be a better person, to turn out to create a bunch of little mini-me's I'm getting more and more into the B2B space because a lot of my vendor friends are telling me, we had high hopes, blah, blah, blah. They're not doing anything because everybody's doing a land grab or a dealer grab. And the larger they grow, the worse, the more their customer service experience and their accountability to their dealers suffers. So I want to really enrich the lives of those who are starting careers as agents, as appointment setters in real estate, dental, automotive, power sports, RV, all of it, however I can, in whatever little way I can, to celebrate small wins and just to pump people up and let them know how important they are. But more importantly, my word, and Kaylee actually told me it was my word when we were doing the holiday thing with her, Russell, when I was
Yeah.
talking off from the heart. And she goes, execute. That's a good word. So that's my word for 2024. I'm going to put my writing hand and my feet where my mouth is, and I'm going to start executing on all these brilliant things we've been collaborating and discussing for 2023. So that's my prediction for 2024, that I'm going to be a better person, that I'm going to help to enrich more lives in the right way, and that we're going to do my little piece to improve the customer experience, I guess.
Cool. My word
Wonderful.
for
I love
2024
that.
is talent.
Sounds like April's on mic. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So yeah, I was like walking out the store and the boss started talking to me and I'm like, okay, I'm like listening to y'all. I can do a lot at once, but probably having two conversations at the same time might be a little difficult. Anywho, Wendy, I 100% first of all heard talent and heard execution. Training, obviously we've talked a lot about that, but for me, 2024 is going to be, as I sit in a dealership, difficult. I think 2024 is going to be difficult. And the reason that I say that is that the majority of people have not been in the business for very long. And so my prediction is a plethora of crying is going to ensue in 2024. And, with all these new regulations and all the other things, dealers are going to be forced to change and do things they don't want to do simultaneously while dealing with it all. So I think the people who understand that this is just another page, it's not the whole book, it's not the whole story, and do things like train and have a good attitude and build and groom and grow their talent will not only succeed in 2024 but thrive in 2024 while everybody else is sopping up their tears off the side of the road.
Yep.
Well, April, I'll agree with that 100%. And there's one thing that I'd love to add to it. NCM Associates, and I'm trying to think who the other one that partnered with them in doing a dealer review of the last 6 years. They're predicting a 27% downturn for 2024. Now, most people would say the sky is falling. The sky is falling. 27% loss. Oh, God, what are we going to do? But that is 2.6 times revenue numbers for 2019.
Bingo. And I can tell you, Peter, I've done the math. So you are 100, sorry to cut you in, but I have done the math for our stores and that is absolutely accurate. Continue. Sorry.
And as we look at that, and we've sat there and we've told our staffs, you should have saved. You should have. The money train's going to run out. The money train's going to run out. The money train's going to run out. And we've basted them that. And then now this 27% reduction, we're all saying the sky's falling, but it's not falling. It is time. We still have a massive amount of capital that we can reinvest and train the people who are post-COVID hires to actually become career individuals. And we can coach them to success like no other. because we can teach them things that are going to happen in the next 2 to 3 years that we never had 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago when we started. So I'm very, very excited. Very excited for 2024.
Hey, Brian Moates, I heard you you were fired up on it when you first jumped on the call. What do you think, my buddy? Resolution and prediction, perhaps?
Well, resolutions, I don't make them. I think they're about as bad as hitting month-end goals. I don't think we should think in year over year or month over month. I think I have the same belief around that as I do when we get focused on month over month in a car dealership, because if we act differently at the end of the month and we sell cars differently on the 30th and 31st than we did on the 1st or 2nd, then we're giving a bad experience to most of our customers. And so I feel the same way about resolutions. I have continual goals. As most of you know that worked with me, I'm incredibly passionate about the employee experience in dealerships and bringing, better talent development, organization development, and change management structures to dealers. And I'm going to continue to passionately pursue that with what we do and what I do every day at work. Prediction, my prediction is that a little bit of the insanity and madness around EVs and AI will dissipate, and we'll come back to reality and just realize that we're in the people business. There's a lot happening. I think there's a lot happening with the EV stuff. I think the future is there's just as much opportunity for hydrogen as there is EV. And there's just a lot of things going on around that. I just hope we continue to keep open minds about what the future of this business is, whether it be power plants or how we do customer experience. And then the same thing with AI, that we understand that it's just another tool, right? It doesn't really replace anybody. It's just another tool that we can use to drive automations and better experience and equip our people better with how they engage with customers. So my belief and my hope is that we're going to continue to get more digitally driven in our industry, but personally delivered, and understand that it's a people business. And that's my hope and my prediction for 2024 is that we're going to start heading down that path. There's a lot of great conversations across Clubhouse and blog and Zoom calls like ours and like this, that there's too many people that are talking about it for it not to start to become a reality and get more people kind of on the train talking about what our business really is, and that we're in the hospitality business and the people business.
Hospitality business, selling a commodity. That's something that you taught me a while back. But I just want to jump in on something you said about AI. And I wrote it down tonight just before the show. And unfortunately, I didn't get to get on the Clubhouse call with Wendy and April today, which always disappoints me. But I wrote something to put down and write an article about is AI is here to amplify human capacity.
That's right.
That's what it's there for. It's not to do the job of humans.
Right.
And that came from Wendy and April's show, and I wanted to write something tonight for them and get it out there for recognition of their show.
Well, you want to hear something funny, Peter? We must be thinking exactly alike, because I was tied up today, but I jumped on Wendy's and April's show for about 7 minutes, and just in time to hear April and a couple other folks complain about how when these things get automated to the degree that you can't get through. April, I'm talking about the story of the guy that was on hold. They kept saying, well, why don't you talk to our virtual person? And he finally said, to hell with it, I'm going to do it. And all they did was point him back to the line, which he had just jumped out of. You know what, Peter, let me throw in my thing, and then we'll jump to our buddy Willian and get Jeff in. I had 3 thought-provoking things happen to me the other day. First of all, I got to watch The Christmas Carol, which anybody that knows me, being Jewish, is still my all-time favorite story. I got the whole thing in my brain. I could, if any shame I don't drink, you could get me drunk and I could do the whole one-man play for you. But it's astonishing that at this elderly age, I still cry at the end, because it's a story of redemption in the human heart. The other 2 things, I have a friend that was in trouble, and I helped him, and it really made me feel good. he said, my girlfriend's, the hell you calling him for? Because it was some medical thing, whatever. He said, Larry's the most positive guy I ever met in my life. Whatever it's going on, he'll pull me out of it. And then I taught a little intermediary, just a buddy of mine is running a Kia store. And I did some training for him. And 2 people called me from the class and said, man, that was really inspirational. And then he called me and said, you got my guys fired. So, Peter, are you ready for my resolution?
Sure.
It's not about losing weight or what kind of business. My resolution, and I am going to keep this damn thing, Brian Moates, is I'm going to keep on showing up. Because anybody that knows me knows if I show up, I'm going to be half out of my mind, I'm going to have energy, I'm going to do my best. And I see people all around me who either phoning it in or not showing up or talking one good game and doing shit. Oh, there's the swear jar. The bottom line is I'm going to show up. I'm going to continue to have fun with my friends. I'm going to try to make myself better, make everybody around me better. And as far as the prediction, it's the old quote, those that forget history are doomed to repeat it. When we forget to deal with people and take our time and slow down and go back to basics and be so appreciative of people that are coming in to spend our money and acting like the quote you saw, hopefully some of you saw on LinkedIn, act like you own the place. Act like it's your dealership with no debt service. If we go back to that, we'll be fine. And the people that don't are going to get pushed even farther off the ledge because some of them came in and thought, hey, this is easy. You show up, you point at a car, people give you all their money and they're like their watch and their gold teeth. So I'm just going to show up. I'm expecting next year to be just as nuts as every other year, where the successful people will be successful and the unsuccessful people will spend all day bitching about the successful people. You agree with me, Mr. Jeff Scherer?
100%. Sorry, I'm fighting a little chest cold here from New York. Anyway, I agree with Brian.
If you're coming from New York and all you have is a chest cold, you're in good shape. You didn't get stabbed or robbed or carjacked. I wouldn't complain at all. I mean, you're ahead of the game.
I agree with Brian that I also don't personally make resolutions, but I do make goals. And my goal for 2024 personally is to continue educating my customers to make them smarter. And the way that I do that is with stuff like this and learning from all you guys. Mike Larkin's taught me a lot. Peter's taught me a ton, and I just, every time I'm on a webinar, and I was fortunately able to make Wendy's this morning and April's and resonate 100%. So that's kind of my goal. 3 things for predictions. So I think 2024, we're going to see data becoming used as a strategic asset for companies. They really don't understand it. And, I'm going to go.
Slow down. Because you are the smartest guy on the show when it comes to data. I can see that. But let me say, didn't you just quote Larry Feldman quoting, those that forget history are doomed to repeat it? Because I don't want to sound like a smart aleck, but Russell Hill will agree with me. Give me an amen. Data's always been the key.
Amen.
That's why if you kept in touch with your customers and you knew when their lease was ending, and what the last time you spoke to them wasn't when they signed the papers, but it was 2 months ago and 6 months ago and on their birthday, that has always been king. The scary part is now that we can disseminate it quicker, we're using it less. How whacked is that? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's
So
100% accurate, Larry, because it's like,
hold on. That was 200% from Jeff. Does that cancel out when I cursed, Rhonda? I just want to make sure I'm even here.
No, you need a 300, buddy.
Yeah.
So,
The jar is empty.
I'll get Mike Larkin. If you say something about the Irish, he'll always give you 100%. It's just in his DNA. Go ahead.
The wearing of the green.
It's funny, and it's that, why aren't we doing it? And to kind of echo what April said, cybersecurity is going to, come to the forefront, and that is very, very, very complex. But you know what, dealers, you have no choice. You've got to do this. And I said this months ago, but I think until somebody's underwear is up on the flagpole, nobody's going to pay enough attention to it.
Once again, Jeff, I'm in complete agreement with you, but I go backwards to those that forget history are doomed to repeat it. Everybody has an encrypted situation. Everybody has all kinds of security, but I'm betting Russell and anybody that or Wendy that has ever walked into a dealership has seen a license sitting on a table, even though it's a huge fine. So once again, you can have 42 million complex security devices. If you're still dealing with boneheads that don't understand that we're all in this together and that any one of us can put a beating on everybody, you're in trouble. But I didn't mean to interrupt you again, Jeff. You're
No, and
very
my
thought-provoking.
third
Well-
thing, and then I'll hand the ball off. And again, to echo what Brian said, but I think we're going to see improved digital processes. You know, COVID forced everybody to go digital, you know, and as we all know, 80% of the dealers weren't ready to do that. Oh yeah, we talked about that 2-3 years ago. They were forced to do it. And most of them fumbled, you know, because they didn't have the resources. But I think now it's time to take a breath and really look at the technology that's out there, you know, and be able to improve that whole process, you know.
Jeff, that'll all
taking a
be
good long
coming
look at
to
it.
fruition soon. You probably are letting the cat out of the bag. I'm currently working on that right now with Ben Hadley and Cox Automotive. The only reason I didn't finish it tonight is I got a call from Elon Musk. I had to help him jumpstart his Tesla. It was a little tricky situation.
I bet, man.
So just let me jump on that. Jeff, you are
Which
absolutely
part,
right.
the jump starting the Tesla or the fact that I'm helping Ben Hadley and Cox? I just figure which is more surreal.
Well, I'm trying to figure out if you could spell either of their names. So that's anyways, getting back
I'm
to
a great
I'll
speller.
stay
That's
off the
why I
foot-
don't need AI. Go ahead.
So what Jeff, I agree 100% what you're saying. April and I both agree on one thing that is going to come
Wait a
through.
minute. It's New Year. Does anybody care? Like agree 97%? What is it with this 100% stuff? I mean,
Well,
come on, Jeff.
okay.
100%. Let's give you
Okay.
like 97.2. If we're going to use data, let's be accurate.
Okay, so
Am I right, April? I mean, what is it with this 100% stuff? These guys are way too inefficient.
Either
Peter,
you're all
he's just
in or
trying to
you're all out.
antagonize you, man.
All in or all out there, Larry. So April and I agree with Hyundai coming to the marketplace with Amazon. It's going to be great. It really is. And now that Hyundai's done it, 5 other manufacturers have put out a letter of intent saying that they're going to do it. So it's coming right across the board. I predicted it that a year ago that Amazon was coming to the marketplace, just that they were going to choose their when and their why and their how, and they did. Now, saying that will become much
Matrix.
Peter, you were in the Matrix. Say that again, please.
best I've ever seen in this. Which
Say
one?
it again, Peter. You were in the Matrix. You faded
Oh,
out.
was
there,
I?
please.
Sorry. So Hyundai, back to Hyundai, the 5 dealerships coming on board. It's digital retail is coming. It's not lead generation. Now, going back to that, platforms like Jeff's platform that he has is going to matter so much more to a dealership than any other platform that they have. And if you haven't checked it out, find Jeff and talk to him about it. It is incredible. Now, going through to that, we are in a prediction that it is, as Steve Greenfeld said, we're going to change more in the next 5 years than we have in the last 50. So
100.
we got to be ready for it. And with that, I'm yielding again to whoever's next. You pick them, Larry.
Well, you know what? We got our buddy who comes all the way from Brazil. Willem, do you have a thought for the new year and a resolution or prediction, my friend? It's so good to see you all the time.
Yes, it is.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Well, I have 3 points for the goals in the next years. First, expand my knowledge and perspective on the automotive market, and this is one of the places for that. And share my experience with innovation, digital transformation, whether for the automotive market or not. And finally, make a difference in the lives of those around me and my one. And my prediction is that we will have an ever more dynamic market full of opportunities for those who know how to take advantage of them. Use technologies as tool and not people. People is not tools. Okay, technology is tools. People will be the key to success in the next year, and that's why we must take care of the people. And this is the secret. And technologies is very important. Yes, it's important, but we can see the people around to be more success in the next year. The technologies is but a little point for all the opportunities we have. It's this. Thank you.
Willem, you're already making a difference because I speak for everybody on this show when I tell you it's such a pleasure to see you. And we all appreciate you going through the different time zones and showing up here. So every one of us wishes you the healthiest of holidays and a great new year. And we're learning from you as you're learning from us, man. And just keep that great smile going. Yeah, it's appreciated more than you know, my buddy. Russell Hill,
Thank you.
also a hell of a smile.
Yeah, I got that, whatever that thing is, but, so I got to tell you, I don't believe in resolutions either, incidentally. I believe in being resolute about something, but I don't believe in making resolutions that 98% of the people in the first 21 days end up, particularly on the workout stuff. But anyway, so I received a text this afternoon. I was really angry for a moment because, you know, I have time blocking on my calendar for the human side of AI. And so missing Martha and April and Wendy and the other people in the room, it's building such momentum. We talk about all this stuff, but there's always the human side. And without that, it ain't about la-di-da. It's all about the human side. As a matter of fact, we were texting back and forth. I was making sure because of some stuff mishap that happened with BDC Angels that she owned the domain or the URL or something like that, because this is big. This is going to get really, really big. And while all that was going on, anyway, I was upset because there was a dealer principal that was upset. We have multiple stores of his, and it turns out it wasn't about us at all. He just wanted to vent to me to get my opinion on something, and it happened to conflict with the time blocking I had, so I had to do it. But Friday, when I was texting back and forth, I got to tell you this, I'm an emotional guy. My wife is 32 years retired, you know, controller in automotive. Okay. She's not emotional. I'm the emotional one. But I was texting Wendy and back and forth and sent her some pictures. So I got, I believe, okay, this is the Polar Express. I went on a real Polar Express ride with all our kids and grandkids Friday. And it was I got emotional. It was so wonderful the way it was choreographed. And we were in a live train and it was all done up and the bells and Santa. I mean, just on and on and on. I mean, the dancers and the singers and I mean, it was, I don't know why I had to share that, but I felt compelled to share that. So my prediction, resolute. I don't know if I can do any more than what I'm doing. So I'm going to resolute to stay the path, the course that I'm on right now. I believe that all of you people I associate with, and I spend hours a day, hours, it's part of my time. Not even talking about running the company. I'm talking about hours a day, starting early in the morning to make sure things are right. One of the first things I do when I get up, I have to always be accomplishing something. I have to always be setting goals, and I have to stay on course. First thing I do is make my bed. Boom, I made the bed. That was the first goal I accomplished, and then it's off and off and off. And how I start my day is really important with all of you. But I believe that 95% of the population gets their information from the same 95% of the population that has what they have or less than what they have, and they wonder why the hell they don't have anymore. These are 5%ers. All of you are 5%ers. That's why we're always, yeah, we don't always agree. We can agree to disagree, and we have different philosophies and stuff. But hey, we're all serving. We all know there's a human side to this, okay? And it's all about people and giving back. It's like, yeah, there was one point in time in my life, I want to make as much money as I could. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. You can either trade your time for it, or you can make it work for you. And this is the type of rooms that I like being involved with. So I'm resolute to stay the path that I'm in right now. I don't know if I could take on any more because there's so much wonderful things going on, not only personally, professionally, but also with my family. My prediction for 2024, the continuation of the paradigm shift that's taken place in fixed operations and how that's going to continue to be. And the focal point, which all of you mentioned, is all about people, right? Lee Iacocca in the 80s said it best. Ladies and gentlemen, in the end, you can sum all business up to three things: people, products, and profits. The most important of which are your people. He figured it out. That's why he was able to turn Chrysler around back in the day. And you know what? The people in this room were making a difference. Well, we need no, it starts with me. It starts with you, and it starts with us. That's how we make an impact, and that's how we made a difference. Look at what he's done already. I see you people sometimes hours a day in different rooms spring up. And it's like, you're all hungry for the same stuff. And we want to associate with people that think like us, right? I don't want to be involved with people talk. You know, the rear view mirror is there for a reason, only to glimpse briefly at it to see where you came from. Because if you focus on the past, you're going to have a train wreck. You just are. You just are. So it's always about getting outside of your comfort zone, stretching, and associating with people that think. And that's what's going on in fixed operation. It is going to be, in some places, it's already the main profit center, but it's going to become more and more the main profit center, not the secondary, but the primary revenue producer. And it's going to be in fixed operations. That's what I believe. So thank everybody for your time. I hope I sounded okay. I feel like dog doo-doo. And as soon as I'm done here, guess where I'm going? I'm going to take a plop, plop, fizz, Alka-Seltzer cold, and I'm going to bed.
We
Thank you.
appreciate you hanging in, even though you're not feeling so well.
I hope you feel better.
Thank you. Well, I didn't finish. So Wendy texted me, checking on me after the meeting. Oh my God, I got emotional in that moment. And I was fixing to start another meeting right after that. I said, I miss the human side of AI. I have it time blocked. People, leave me alone. You have access to my account. But this dealer principal did not have access to my calendar. So unfortunately, I had to assist, right? I had to be of service, right? I won't miss next week. Okay, thank you for checking on me, Wendy. Appreciate it. Love you.
Missed you guys.
Who haven't we heard from yet tonight?
Jennifer,
gosh.
Martha,
Martha, Fred,
Jennifer.
Jen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, I've got goals, but they're a little muddled still. Starting this business in September, I'm hoping to see the path for how it's going to move forward. It's been a wonderful few months. I've been very blessed. So I'm hoping to repeat, as was said before, at least stay the path, try to be as positive as possible and bring as much positive energy and make a difference to the companies and the organizations I serve. I think 2024 is going to be a year of general, I think the EV movement is going to settle a little bit. It's going to, all of the tumult and upheaval, it's just a part of the growth. So we're going to see, I think, some of that ease a little bit, some general acceptance of what it can and can't do happen. I think the political winds are going to be ferocious. So I think we're going to see a lot of political and social upheaval in the next 10 months, leading up to the election, maybe beyond. And I think that's going to be very dangerous for us as a whole, as a nation. But I think, as you said, Russell, if we keep our eyes focused and we are paying attention to those around us and we stay the course as best as we can, maybe other people will follow us and be as kind and gentle as they can be.
And Jen,
Wow.
remember, if you need moral support, man, you got a whole lot of people on this show and other shows that are pulling for you, and will certainly help you anywhere.
Yes, you do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it's been a remarkable experience this fall. It's just been so many blessings overflowing, blessings overflow.
Perfect. Martha?
Hi, Martha.
Hello, everybody. Sorry for late. So here we are, right? The last meeting of the year.
I
Yeah.
wanted to say, first of all, to each one of you, the support. It has been amazing. Wendy, April, Jen, Russell, Fred, it's been almost 2 years, like April, Wendy, that I have met you both, and you have helped me blossom into, a different type of a person in the business. Then everybody else that I have met today through, the AI room that we have and through the conferences. It's really rewarding knowing that there is a lot of us in this industry that we care so much, not just for the industry, but also for each other. Because I think sometimes we don't feel or don't find that inside our house, where we're at. And I think I'm like Jen, when it comes to goals, like I'm a little model, I think I kind of like, I think this is going to be a year, and Wendy knows that it's going to be the point of where I'm going to really decide what do I do. I stay at a dealership or I finally leave. This year has helped me realize that I have been, ready to fly for a long time, and there is a lot that I have to offer. And I think sometimes I get confused, I mumble when I'm in the rooms because I'm still struggling with my self-confidence. I know what I know. I know the passion that I have, but I'm still a little bit afraid sometimes of how to vocalize that to the rest of the community or to the rest of the industry. But I had an experience. I was introduced to someone like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. And since then, we've been staying in touch. It's someone higher up in another group. And we've been staying in touch, and we've been like whenever this person wants to like have a new idea or something, we kind of like text a little bit and I share what my opinion or what my input can be. And the way that this person feels me appreciated, the way that this person makes me feel validated or makes me feel like, wow, you know what? You really give me a good idea. I hadn't thought about that approach. And the next time when we talk, she tell me, you know what? I actually kind of like the way you said, and I went, and kind of like implement this. Like it has been rewarding, and I go like, this is something that I can definitely do because this is where my mind is at. This is where my head is. It's not just BDC. To me, it's not just that little room. And I think it's because for 23 years, I've been sitting inside the room, hearing everything from every single department, okay, and coming up with solutions because I don't want it to escalate to our CSI or to service director that sometimes don't answer, right, or to the GSM that is not going to pay attention. So as April said, we have to figure out a way of resolving things, and finding processes and implementing them to prevent those issues. So I think this is the year where I really want to write down my action plan, my business plan, and what is that I have to offer to other dealerships, because I love sharing that. I love sharing, hey, this is how you may do better. Okay. This is where, you may need to work a little bit more. I'm a optimization. My brain works on optimizing process.
Hey,
That's what
Martha,
my brain is.
Martha, I don't mean to interrupt you. Can I give you some really good news? You've already started on your
Yes.
action plan.
That's right.
Because you've discovered one of the great keys in life, which is you're trying to surround yourself with people that you can grow with, learn with, and respect and enjoy. So many people get in bed with the wrong crowd, the wrong people, negative people, and they wallow in it and they stay in it and they never move forward. The fact that you're saying,
That's
I
right.
found a person that makes me feel good about myself and listens to me, that's the key. Russ, you'll love this. Paul Meyer came to see the band
Yeah.
on Saturday, and we kicked ass. And he said to me, he says, Larry, everybody in this your band is great. The people in the club are great. The place was packed to the rafters. I says, listen, I don't want to be around people that are jerks. I want to be around people that when I see them, I smile and I feel good and I grow. So Martha, you're already far ahead of the game. Here we got Diane Uzelac pulled up. Diane's another one. She calls me up all the time. What about this? What about that? I kick her in the butt, and guess what? She's absolutely on the right course because she's another person that's pushing forward. We're all, and one other thing, Martha, that stuff where you stumble and you're not sure and you feel uncertain, that will cure as soon as you die. Because part of the human condition is always questioning, what am I doing? We all have certain insecurities. Use that as fuel, just like using mortality as fuel. If we live forever, we'd never get anything done. My wife would be, did you take out the trash? Oh, I'll do it in 7,000 years. The fact that we're here for a short period of time, if we're smart, propels us to use every second and every minute. That's why Russell Hill says, shit, what there is the shit again.
So
That's great.
now I'm going to interrupt you, Larry, because I
Yes,
want to
sir.
say this to Martha, and well, it's to everybody. I think almost as much as breathing air, that people want to know that they count, they matter, they make a difference, and they're part of something bigger other than just themselves. And you are that person, Martha. You're
Thank
surrounding yourself with successful people. And if there's somebody that's not successful and they're naysayers, man, you got to let it roll off you. I still have that problem sometimes. I think all of us do. But you
Human
know, I
condition.
mean, I don't need people to pat me on the back all the time and say, "Oh, wow, great job." I don't need that. I'm self-confident enough and I know enough about myself. And I see it in you too, Martha.
Thank
You're
you.
Hey,
awesome.
hey, Martha, let me put a bow on this for you and be honest with me. How do you feel about Wendy and April? I'm assuming you really think they're terrific and you respect them. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
I think
Well, then
they're
I'm going to
amazing.
tell you something. I'm going to tell you something off the record. All right. Every damn time I talk to Wendy and April about you, all they do is rave and,
That's
and
right.
pass love around.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
right.
So
you.
the people around you care about you, they like you, they respect you, and again, and now you're smart enough. Took Russell Hill a long time to learn what you've already learned, which is surround yourself with people that can help you grow
right.
and make you smile. Did I say that right, Reverend Russell?
Damn, yes, sir. Amen.
Hey,
No,
hey,
they-
hey, wait a minute,
that's
wait a minute. Rhonda, pass the collection plate. Maybe I can get back the money I had to put in the curse jar earlier.
Hold on, Martha, what were you saying?
No, I said that's what I said. Like, I really thank Wendy and April. I can't thank them enough, for everything that they have that they have done for me.
Well,
And
they
and I
got
know
your
that,
back.
they have, yeah, they have my back. So
They have nothing
and
but good things to say about you. Of course, at that point, they were drunk and they
You
were
know,
making
sing
Fred dress up like Santa Claus in July. It was a scary night.
Let me just jump in for 1 second here. Every single person on this call is new to me. The longest I've known someone on this telephone call or this Zoom call is approximately a year and a half. That's it. Most of you I met after NADA last year, so it's 11 months. Every single one of you, being the people that you are, have supported me tremendously to bring me into their folds, to bring me into their circle of influences, to allow me to grow my exposure into the United States, which is very important to me because that's where I want to invoke the most change into this industry.
Mm-hmm.
I would be nowhere without any of you.
same here.
And
We're glad you're here,
that,
Peter.
and with that, I can tell you, I had a call with Wendy today that was about an hour long, telling me every single person that I could contact to try and break through that barrier to get into the United States. Because that is what is important to me and important to my family right now. So I empathize with Jennifer. I empathize with Martha. I empathize with Wendy, even though that Wendy and I have both been in this business for 40 plus years. We know what the struggles are. We understand it. We understand that fear of crossing that chasm to try and do something different. I'm trying to do something different in this business rather than teach people just to move metal out the door, but to do it with an absolute understanding that you're invoking a customer's dream. You
Hey,
are
Peter, I love you, but we only got about 5 minutes before
Sure.
Russell has to take an
Sorry.
Alka-Seltzer. How
I know
about my
it's
girl Diane
it's my
Uzelac?
passion. My passion
I
gets a
feel
hold of me.
it. I feel it, my brother. Diane, we're looking for resolutions if you believe in them and a prediction. Did we lose Diane again?
Yep.
Probably.
Yeah, I think we lost her in the matrix.
Russell, I think Diane is in the witness protection program. She kind of shows up.
I
she's
know.
gone
And
again,
then
disappears.
disappears. Mhm.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Who did we get to? I want to make sure we didn't miss anybody.
We haven't
Fred.
heard from Fred.
Oh, Fred. By the way, Fred, the joy you brought to everybody with Santa Claus, man, you got that spirit of Christmas going all year round, brother. I had so much damn fun with you in Arizona. I can't even begin to tell you. What's planned, the big plans for my good and great friend, Mr. Thorn, and what do you predict for next year, my good and great friend?
Well, guys, Wendy wants me to play Santa all year long because that's all I can do.
That's not true.
No, you bring joy to everyone.
Yes,
No,
you
but
do.
he is infiltrating the Elliott clan on Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah,
He's
he
gonna
is.
go play Santa for Evan Macklin's kids up in Scottsdale.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
Evan and Ian, they look
Evan,
alike.
honey. Evan.
Okay.
I know that was a joke.
Wendy, I might be visiting you. I picked up a new customer in Scottsdale. I'll talk to you about it later. And once I nail him some people, I'm going to twist his arm to let me do some sales training. I get out there, you, me, and Fred are going to tear up that town again.
Sounds
Hey,
wonderful.
don't forget I live here too. I live here too.
April 2.
Larry, you forgot about April.
How can you
Listen.
forget about April?
Yeah.
Because with the physical attraction that April and I have for each other, I didn't want to make it obvious. My beard is Fred, okay, and Wendy. It's like I pretend I'm with them while April just looks across the room and say, Larry, you are the most attractive, non-technical person I've ever met in my life.
That's fluffy duffy crap.
Yeah, I was waiting for your lead in, April. April, it's so good to see you, and we're so glad you jumped in. You know, Russell Hill always says it, and it ain't mushy. What a pleasure it is to be with such a nice bunch of people every Wednesday. Like Russell. Russell, you would have laughed your butt off. I placed 6 ads to the minute before I jumped on the call. Couldn't wait to get the ads out of the way, which make me money to get on the call and talk to my friends and share some information.
Yeah.
So I think it's all a matter. Listen, Russ, I'm training the other day, and a guy says, Mr. Feldman, you really look like you're having fun. It was a training meeting where everybody laughed and everybody was involved.
Yeah.
And I said, you want to know the secret? He says, yeah, tell me the secret. Everybody's like, ooh. Says, it ain't that I'm smart, because I ain't that smart. It ain't that I'm funny. I am pretty funny. It's that I couldn't wait to get here today and work with you guys. I didn't get in the car and go, oh, I got to do that. Because it's Thoreau who said most men, and by proxy, most women lead lives of quiet desperation. If you get up in the morning and you can't wait to get out, do what you got to do, and meet who you have to meet, nobody can stop you. But if you're a miserable son of a gun and all you're doing is moaning and groaning and you can't wait for the day to be over so you can get on the same endless cycle, you're dead.
Yeah, well, that's why they need to be in rooms like this, so they can learn to think differently, and because they got a corrupted hard drive. That's why.
Yep.
Exactly. Diane's back.
Russell,
Diane,
I
there
agree
she
with
is.
you. 97.4%. Remember, we're trying to get up that 100%. It'll blow up the AI. Did we miss anybody? Did
Diane
Diane is back.
Let's get her like she's
Diane, are you
here.
back, Diane?
Big Diane.
Yes, I am back. I'm back.
Diane, it's so good
Hi.
because the theories were either you're in the witness protection program or you were attacked by aliens. Thank God you're here. Luckily, I defended your absence. Go ahead. We need a
Wait a second.
resolution, a prediction, and any other
Yeah.
damn thing you got in your mind.
Okay, so my goal, I got a few things. You ready? I'm gonna just, all right, rattle them off. The goal is, I just read a great book.
Wait a minute,
by
you're in the
Ryan,
matrix.
I can't remember, is it Daniel something called 12 Months? What?
You were in the
Can you hear me?
Matrix for a second. I heard Daniel, and then
Can you
you
hear
faded
me?
away. Say it again.
We're hanging on this blog or what? This name of this person.
months.
We can't get it.
12 months to a million.
Huh?
Can you guys hear me or
No.
no?
Now we can. Go
No,
stay
no.
right where you are.
Don't move.
No.
And
Okay.
raise your right
You
arm.
can't see me, but you can hear me.
I can,
Yes.
I can hear you and see you.
Stand on my tippy toe. Okay, so 12 months to a million. I'm just reading that book. So my goal is 12 months to a million. That's my new goal. Larry, you know what I'm talking about. And then
Yeah, but there's
my,
more to life.
my
As
words.
Russell
do you
Hill
guys know
always
this?
says, Diane, as Russell Hill always says, my dear friend, there's more to life than money.
Yeah, but also pursuing your dreams.
I mean,
And that's what
Diane,
I'm doing. So
I'm
like,
rich, but
it's
I'm
not
rich,
about the
but they-
money.
I'm rich,
It's
but
not
they
about the
can't help me
money.
with my mental instability. I mean, it's a tragedy.
Okay, so but to clarify, we can talk about your mental instability later.
Russ, I got her
To
confused.
clarify,
My
not
turn
about the
to
money,
stuff.
Russell. It's about
I don't know how my name got in the hat on that one.
I don't know either. He's just throwing
Brian
me under the
Moates,
bus right
Brian
now.
Moates did it. He's a ventriloquist, and obviously I'm his dummy. Go ahead. Stop interrupting her,
He's
will you,
driving me
Peter? Go ahead, Diane. I'm sorry for the rudeness.
Damn. Okay. So you're killing me. So, okay. And then words, this is a thing. You have to have a word going into the new year. So, but I've got two because one is not enough. Because, got to be extra. So the words are scale. That's my first word. And then the second word is deliberate, which is basically just another word for intentional, but intentional is so overused and abused. So deliberate. And that's it. That's it for me.
I
That
got
was
3
wonderful.
words. Rock and roll. That's what
Rock
I'm
and
going to
roll.
be doing. That's what I'm going to continue to go, girl. Life is
Holla.
short. Let's turn the damn volume up.
Let's go. I love that. Those are 2 good words.
It's 8:01. Guys, I cannot tell you how much I wish every one of you the healthiest and happiest of New Year's. I hope we all can work together to accomplish everything we want and deserve next year. And remember, we're all here to support each other if anybody needs anything in any way, shape, or form. And as always, I just want to thank you all. It's such a pleasure. Sometimes this is a little respite from the rest of the week just to see all these smiling faces. Guys in their car rolling along. Russell doesn't even feel well, and he clocked in. And by the way, one last thing, I got to point out as we near the end of 23, Rhonda and now my girl Jen. Yeah, you talk about being blessed. I got 2 of the best people you could ever work with. They care the most. They're funny. They're cool, and they put up with my deep insanity. And I always thought, now that James Brown was dead, I was the hardest working guy in showbiz. I ain't. It's Peter Smith. This son of a gun.
Yep.
Every 3 seconds, he's got a new article, a new post.
I don't know how he does it, but yeah, he's a genius.
He's driven. And let me tell you something. One of the best things that happened to me at NADA is I met Peter. We shook hands. We knew each other from Ian and Jeff's show. 2 other sweethearts. But ever since then, we've gotten closer and closer. And now we're damn near inseparable. But a guy working that hard and caring that much and being that diverse is somebody we should all give a nod to. So every one of you, the healthiest of New Year's.
Yep.
And Russell, just for you, baby. And so this is Christmas. And what have you done? I throw a little John Lennon in just for my man. And it's easy to sing him to McCartney.
Okay,
Larry.
Wendy, you're on.
You
Two
need my hand
things.
really
Let
quick?
Wendy go.
Oh, super quick. I have to tell you, Peter, and because Larry said that, and because you said how long you've known all of us, when you mentioned NADA, I remembered that's when I kind of met you, but not really, just kind of a hello through Sean Armour. But I remember seeing you and Sean in deep conversation over by the escalator. And I know what an intense person my friend Sean is.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he doesn't invest time in many things that he doesn't feel are worth his time. He's that legit and that, that driven toward excellence that I remember thinking at that point, I gotta find out about that guy. He must be a really interesting individual for him to be so intent in conversation with my brother from another mother. So that was my first impression.
So just give you a quick ending to this call. Sean and I met at NADA. He actually missed his flight, and I drove up to the airport, never meeting him in my entire life before, and drove up to the airport so he could make the NADA meetings that he needed to make. And so that's how Sean and I met. And since then, Sean and I have become close friends, and we talk all the time. He's a great guy. He's as you said, he's legit. He'll tell you if he believes in you or he doesn't believe in you. He doesn't waste time, and he's that great a guy. But
Yeah.
again, back to everything here. I just want to wish everybody the success that they all deserve for 2024. It's going to be a great year. We're all positive people. We
Mhm.
understand that it's not raining everywhere. The rain brings the grass grows, and we're gonna have a great year. So
This
I
isn't over. I
appreciate
mean,
all your
we're back.
friendships.
We're back next Wednesday, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
January
Absolutely.
then.
Oh, and for those
Yeah.
of you who don't know, thank you so much, Peter. It's Sean Armour's birthday, so send him a birthday something.
Absolutely.
I will.
Thank you for that information.
I was talking to him about 15 minutes before the show, so I know he had plans for tonight. So I wish he could have been on because I would have wished him happy birthday myself. But I'll do that for sure tomorrow.
Peace and
Everyone,
blessings.
thank you. I really appreciate it. Larry appreciates it, and we'll be talking soon to all of you.
Rhonda
Happy New
appreciates
Year,
it too.
everybody.
Good night, everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you all
See you
so much.
next year.
Love you all.
Bye.
Bye. Happy New Year, guys.
Bye.